Hi, my name's Jonna Warnken. I'm a junior, and my major is business finance. I started in 4-H when I was 9 years old, and it just kind of took off from there. I just kind of found a passion for it. It really kind of helped me because I wasn't the kind of person who would play basketball and volleyball, and I didn't love that sport. So then I found rifle, and I found something I could be good at, and I didn't have to be the fastest or the skinniest or the strongest. I didn't have to do any of that for rifle, and I kind of just found my safe haven, my thing when I was 9, and it just kind of took off from there. I just decided that, oh, this is going to help me pay for college. This is going to help me evolve as a person, help me get out of Montana, explore the world a little bit. Rifles really taught me how to be a very controlled person, not let my emotions show all the time. You shoot a 9 and you really want that 10. So your emotions tend to get the best of you, and you can't let that happen in rifle, because if you let that happen, the next shot and the next shot will be following your emotions. And if you do that, then obviously your score is not going to be where you need it to be. So you really have to learn to be composed and move on from something. And I think that's really helped me in life, because everything doesn't go your way all the time. You have to focus on the task at hand and do one thing at a time to be great at something. I love that it's individual. I love that I don't have to, you do have to count on your team, but you don't. Your score depends on what you do. So if I work hard and I practice and I focus on one shot at a time and keeping my composure and all of that, the outcome's gonna be there for me. I don't have to put all my hope into somebody else being great. I can just focus on myself. My teammates, I like to explain our team as maybe not dysfunctional, but a little crazy. We all have so many different personalities. You know, me and Amaray, we're kind of the louder people on the team, and we're identical people, which is why we butt heads. But there's so many different personalities on our team that when we travel, it makes it a lot more fun, because you never know what's gonna happen. I like that we all hold each other accountable, and we always make sure that if anyone needs something, we're always right there to help. Or if you're struggling in school, somebody's probably taken that class and can help you. And I really like that. My main decision to come to UTEP was because it was far from home. And I really love the school, and I love the people in El Paso. Everyone's been super nice, super helpful. I like UTEP a lot. I've met some lifelong friends. I'm really glad. I wouldn't change moving 24 hours away from home for anybody, anywhere but El Paso. We have a lot of outside support. You know, I have a lot of other athletic friends, you know, football team, softball team, soccer team, all of those that I've made friends with, and they always come and support, and that makes me more motivated to do better. Sometimes I wish we had a better turnout for matches and stuff, but then again, we don't have the biggest space to hold a bunch of people. So that really helps. And we also keep each other motivated. You know, after COVID, it's been really hard trying to keep motivated. You know, our team scores weren't what they were my freshman year, nor my individual scores. But during COVID, we kind of only had each other. And, you know, we couldn't have anybody in the range or anything. So we just kind of had to motivate each other to do better. And that's the nice thing about it being an individual sport, too, is because even though we're all on the same team, we're still competing against each other. So it's kind of cool to, one day, you know, you shoot 580, and one day someone else shoots 583. Then the next weekend we have a practice match or a real match. You can up that. it's competing against each other, but it's friendly competition. It's a motivator. It's like 99%. It's crazy, and at a young age, I learned to do it fairly well, I think. I made shooting my #1 commitment all through high school, and focusing on that mental side is 100%. There's a lot of technical stuff too. You know, I mean, we have our gun, we have our gear, everything has to essentially be perfect. But if your mind's not there, regardless of how technical, like your technical side's perfect, regardless of that, you still need your mental side to be able to shoot 60 shots air rifle and 60 shots small bore. You have to have that like muscle memory and your mind right for all that time, and you can't let it slip. I mean, and if you do, let's say I shoot an 8. An 8 is like, it's not the worst case scenario, 7's worse, but 8 is just, you don't want it to happen, and sometimes it does. And you just have to, okay, I did this is what I did, how can I fix it? All right, I'm moving on, done, end of thought. So I'd like to say it's 99%. I've always been an air rifle shooter and not a small bore shooter, but an air rifle, I step on the line, I have my feet measured, I pick up my gun, and I kind of visualize, okay, this is how it's supposed to feel. This is the 10 I need. I kind of picture the 10, and then I put it up, and I always make sure that my elbow's in the right position, because if you put it here, that twists your body. So it has to be right here, for me anyways. And then I look down range, and I put my head down, and I settle for a second, and I don't look in the sights, because you also can't look in the sights for too long, because then your eye gets fuzzy, because you can't keep your eyes open for too long or you start to shake and all that. And I breathe, and then I come down from the top, hold, fire, and then follow through, and then put my gun down. You know, just like a football player might look at someone else's footage, some NFL player footage, we like to watch some of the best. And we get to watch some of the best because our conference is with the best people. TCU, I mean, Alaska's #2 right now. Ohio State's great. Air Force, I mean, they're all amazing. And we're not quite to that level, but it's always a learning experience to watch somebody from Air Force shoot a 600 or somebody from TCU shoot a 600, because you watch them do it and it's like, wow, they were so composed. You couldn't tell what they were doing. They were just kind of lost in their own rhythm, and that's really satisfying to watch for a shooter. I would say my dad. Before I came to UTEP, Dad was my coach from when I was 11 until I came to college, and still to this day he helps me, he helps coach me, and he really understands the mental side of the sport. And he's just somebody that has always worked really, really hard for what he has, and he always keeps his composure. Like, the worst thing could happen to him that day, and he picks himself up and says, okay, I'm gonna be better tomorrow. And I just really admire that about him.